Hey traders, John Howell here. I just got a message from someone on my Facebook, and he said he lost $300,000 trading the markets, and I can empathize with him. And I want to do this video for you guys that if you are going through a tough time, I can empathize with you, because when I first started trading, I lost $250,000 and I almost went bankrupt. I lost completely everything. So I'm going to share some things with you that I had to do to actually get out of that mess. And also some really important things that's helped me with my trading, and it's what actually got me into full-time trading and making a really good income ever since. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so let's get straight into it. Traders, if you do need some help, then grab that $7 trading course with the link in description. Or if you really would like some personal coaching with me, I'm opening up some coaching spots to my basically whole year weekly coaching program, where I share with my strategy, coaching, and so on and so forth. Just email me at Howell, my last name, HOWELL, howtrader@gmail.com, and then I'll call you to see if we're a good fit for that. But I want to talk about this here because we're starting to get a lot. You can see here, this is obviously, I'm doing this recording right now on a Sunday, and we're starting to get a lot of volatility in the markets, and I'm really seeing a lot of people struggling in the markets, and I can feel for you. As I said on the introduction to this video, is that I personally went through a stage where I lost $250,000 trading the markets, and I did everything wrong. And not only did I lose $250,000, but I lost my beautiful BMW car, my house, and I literally had to move back with my mother and father-in-law. And I moved into an old spare bedroom, and then all we slept on for a while was a mattress on the floor. This is me and my wife, by the way. And put it this way, I just got married to my wife at the time. I just got married to her like 6 months prior to this. And here I am now 6 months after getting married to her, asking basically my father-in-law for help. And so I can empathize for this particular person who messaged me, and I also empathize for you if you are doing it tough right now in this volatile time. I can really empathize with that, but it doesn't have to be that hard. Okay, and so I want to share some things with you when it comes to your trading. The first thing that got me out of the slump of literally losing everything to getting on the path to becoming a good trader is looking at firstly, taking full responsibility for what has happened to you. No one forced you to click the button. No one forced you to act the way you acted. No one forced you to increase the risk on your account the way that you did. No one forced you to trade the way you traded, right? So the first thing that I had to do was take a really deep look at the way that I was approaching these markets. And I had to, again, take full responsibility for it. And it's really, at the end of the day, it's like the markets go up, the markets go down, right? People can say, oh, the market's rigged. The only people that say the market is rigged is for those who are losing money, right? I don't say the market is rigged. I'm having a phenomenal trading time. But the thing is, first, I said before, the first thing is that just take full responsibility of what you're doing. That's the first thing. Because without responsibility, there is no accountability to you actually learning the lessons. If you point the finger at everyone else, then firstly, you're going to be in a situation where you're not going to learn the lessons. So the first thing for me was, okay, I did this, okay? Because here's the thing, Tracer. Here's the thing. If you take accountability or a responsibility for what you did and not actually point the finger, this is where the lessons start to come to you about what you did right, what you did wrong, what you should be focusing on, and what you shouldn't be focused on, and so on and so forth. That's where the lessons come. And then it's after these lessons, guess what? That's how you get better. So many people hit a brick wall in life in general because they always point the finger at everyone else, and they just keep hitting a brick wall because they're not getting the lessons that help them move forward, right? You can either get the lessons to help you move forward, or just say, no, it wasn't for me. right? This is the exact same thing that I had to do when I went through my $250,000 in debt trading the markets, but also back 2008, 2009, I went through cancer myself. And the exact same thing I did at that time. Like, okay, instead of me saying, oh, I'm so unlucky that I got this cancer, and it was a stage 3, I think it was a stage 3 lymphatic cancer. No, it was definitely a lymphatic cancer. I'm not sure whether it was stage 2 or stage 3, something like that. But anyway, because at that time I took full responsibility, like, what am I actually doing to cause this cancer to grow? Not that I'm just unlucky. There might be something that I'm actually doing. And it actually turned out that it was my sleeping habits. It was my stress. I never worked out. I never sweat. The food I was eating was crap. I never went to the gym. Like, all this stuff, right? I was a walking, talking toxic machine, right? And then when I started to change some things started to change for me. But I took responsibility for me at the start to then start to realize what I needed to do to actually move forward from there. So that's the first thing I do say when it comes to that. Now, the best thing I do say is that with all your trading, if you're going through a hard time right now and you're looking at you got all these different markets, you've got gold, you've got cryptocurrencies, and you've got obviously different stocks and futures and Forex and so on and so forth. With all the trading that you've been doing, sit back and say, okay, what actually did work? Let's actually start there, right? What actually did work? This was a game changer for me, because once I started to sit down, it's like, okay, then this worked, but this didn't work. This type of pattern that I traded in the markets, oh my goodness, I was getting a 70% success rate. This type of pattern that I traded, oh my goodness, that when I traded like this or I did this, I was having an 80% loss rate. Oh my goodness, like, oh wow, I can start to see that I took 20 trades this month, and if I only stuck to this one pattern, I would have only had 6 trades, but I would have had a successful month. But I had 20 trades, and I had okay, hang on a minute. So I can start to see, I can't actually tell you this, right? Because I don't know what you're doing yourself. And so when I actually sit back, so okay, so it's this type of trades that do really well for me. Okay, cool. All right. And that's when I start to learn the lessons of overtrading, right? This is how I learned the lessons. I'd have a spreadsheet of all my trades. I'm like, man, I've taken 30 trades this month, and really there's only maybe 4 or 5 trades in there that were really good quality trades, and the rest were barge-ass trades, and my account's down 30% this month. What the hell is that happening? And this happened so many times throughout my first 4 or 5 years trading the markets, and it was hard. Now I've been trading the markets now for 17 years in total, and the reason why I've stuck in trading for this long is because I've learned the lessons along the way. And honestly, it can just reward you. It's like millions and millions and millions of dollars are at the disposal of these markets, but it takes a while for you to personally, the responsibility of taking that, learning the lessons, moving forward, take a responsibility, learn the lessons, moving forward, and that's how you slowly grow. And so that were the first 2 things that I had to do, and I realized that it was this type of pattern or was this type of trading. But then I started to realize also, like I went even deeper. And I started to realize that even though I may have had a certain pattern that actually worked for me most of the time, that even on those patterns, when I started to increase my risk too much, even though some of those trades were profitable trades, guess what? They would actually be losing trades because I was risking too much. So because I was actually risking too much, I was more emotional, and I made emotional decisions instead of just a logical one. And therefore, I actually lost money. So therefore, the strategy didn't lose me money. It was me having too much risk. So I had to back off. So I actually had to take less risk to make more money, because more risk actually caused me to be emotional about what was happening. And then what ended up happening was I actually realized that a lot of these trades that are successful trades, I was going backwards because I was creating an emotional decision, And if it went against me for a few days or so in the markets, the system said didn't get out, and a lot of those trades actually ran on for profit. So then I realized that actually having less risk in the markets and so on and so forth actually caused me to go forwards. So they're the two big things that I must say. And then you have to start to look at, okay, then what are you doing and how are you doing this and so on and so forth and what's happening here. Now, let me say something here. If you are trading to make money, I know this sounds really weird, but we're obviously trading to make money, right? But if you are trading just to make money, but you actually don't like trading, right? Trading is not a thing for you. You just want to make money. Well, the money is never going to come, right? How I become such a successful trader and millions and millions of dollars from trading, how that happens is because I love trading. I actually love the art of trading and looking at the markets and looking at the patterns and studying the patterns and all this sort of stuff. Like, I'm doing this video on a Sunday morning right now. And, I don't have to do it, but I am doing it to help you guys. But that's how much I love trading. Like, I cannot wait for the market to open back up tomorrow because that's how much I love trading. So because I love trading and because I've gotten so good at trading, guess what? The money follows. But if you're like, I just want to make money, I just want to make money, I just want to make money. If you just want to make money, it'll never come because that's all you're focused on, making money. And so therefore you're not focused on a process that makes you the money. You just focus on making money. That's like saying you want to be a tennis player, right? And you actually want to be the best. You want to make millions and millions and millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, from tennis. You want to get the sponsorships. You want to do all that sort of stuff. You want to get you want to become number one in the world and so on and so forth. You want to make these millions of dollars and become famous and magazines and all this sort of stuff. But you actually don't like tennis. You just want the fame, right? You would like to be number one, but you actually don't like tennis. Is the millions of dollars, trophies, magazines going to come if you actually don't like tennis? No. Why? Because you're not going to actually put the extra effort into doing that. So if trading might not actually be for you. Trading's not for everyone. Trading's my thing for me because I'm not academically smart. Like I didn't even really finish school really. I left school to go work as a laborer. And that's why I just did laboring jobs. I have no qualifications behind me. And everything has just been sort of self-taught there. Or self-taught via buying a lot of courses and programs and working through things. So here is also a few things that I really want to share with you. Let me just bring up any stock through here. Let me just bring up, say, Apple. And here is some sort of technical stuff that it's really helped me with my trading. The first thing that I do say is, let me actually take this off the screen. Let me take everything off the screen here. A lot of you guys, if it's interesting. If I guarantee if you got dozens of indicators on the screen, you're probably not making money. I do really well from trading just like a chart like this, and maybe a couple of different moving averages at times, but most of the time it's just the chart itself. But I really want you to think about this, okay? I really want you to think about this. If we look at the market is like an ocean in the markets, right? We have an ocean, sort of an ocean flow effect. You can see here, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? So it has this flow on effect of the market. So one thing I realized by doing this is that looking at these markets, the two big things that I started to learn was, one, I needed to trade with, if I wanted the best chance of doing well, one, I needed to trade with the trend. So if we're making these higher lows, higher low, higher low, higher low, and even another higher low here, guess what? I'm trading with the trend, right? I'm not trading against the trend. So that's the first thing. Never trade against the trend. The reason why is because the biggest moves generally are with what? The trend. And then you have these small pullbacks, even a small pullback through here. You just never, the reason why it's so risky is because you never know how shallow this pullback's going to be before the next buying comes in, right? And you can see the biggest moves are with the trend. So firstly, trade with the trend, which simply just means higher highs and higher lows at the end of the day. And I'm just using Apple here as an example. You can use any stock if you want. So that's the first thing I do say. The second thing I do say is that always, to me, I'm always waiting for a pullback, right? So because the market works like this, the market runs up, then we have a pullback, market runs up, have a pullback, market runs up, okay? So because of that, because that's how the markets work, you can see just like how on also looking at Google, right? Looking at Google. So if we can see we're looking at Apple. If we're looking at Apple, right, we can just see exactly how that works, up and down, up and down, up and down. So the best times to get into it is not on the pullback, but wait for it to start to break out here maybe. You know what I mean? Like wait for the market to come up, then wait for a pullback, and then wait for it to start to turn around a little bit. You gotta, and then there's a real good chance you're gonna enter here, right? And then enter here. Now I obviously have I trade this approach, but I use a more of a step by step. I'm looking for a precise pattern with the trend, and then I'm also looking for a precise entry bar with the trend as well too, right? So we have these lows, high lows, high lows, but wait for a pullback first, then jump in. You have, if you just do this here and do this here, and also if you do something like this, right? And then also has, so let's just say put a longer term moving average on here, just say a 52 moving average, right? And that's all you're going to do. Well, did you know that by looking at this, again, looking at the trend here, your entry would be somewhere. So we had a move up, a pullback, and then we started the run here, right? Move up, let's start again here. Right, move up, pullback, and then we look at this. See how we started the break up through there? And then look at this here, come back down, pullback. We started the run up through there, went sideways, come back up. Then we had a big pullback, guess what? And then the same thing through there. So the thing is, traders, is that if you just did something like that, you're probably going to have maybe a 70% success rate on doing that. Because you're trading with the trend, right? You're waiting for a pullback and then you're waiting for the market to kick up. Pullback, waiting for the market to kick up. Pullback, wait for the market to kick up. So you're waiting for these markets to kick up like that. And that's what makes my trading so successful, because I wait for these pullbacks, or at least a time where the market's not doing much. And then I'm getting in on that. And I remember back here with the whole vid situation, the crash situation, because we had this, because Apple had a very big move up, and this is what actually happens. If you get a stock that keeps going up like this for a long time, well, generally speaking, we get like a pretty sharp pullback before we get the springboard. And that's exactly what happened with Apple here. And so we're looking at this pattern through here, right? And so for me personally, I'm trading with the trend, but I'm also looking at the, like, let me just share with you an example here. So this here was an example of a trade that formed here. This was actually gold, and this was actually like literally, this is a 5-minute chart on gold, and this was just before the market closed. As you can see, this here was the close, like literally last Friday. So it's actually there right now. You can go check it out. But look at this here, right? This is what I look for. See here, look at this here, low, higher low, and notice here what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a period of, look at that small candles. And then I'm looking for I'm looking for trend, I'm looking for small candles, I'm looking for a strong moving average, and then I'm looking for a large bar, and then the market runs on. Like traders, this pattern I just shared with you. Step 1, look for a higher lows. 2, look for a period where the market is really small candles. 3, wait for a strong moving average. I'm using a 20 moving average, more of a faster moving average here. And 4, wait for a large bar breaking above this small bars here. Just go trade that, traders, okay? But you know what the hard thing is? This pattern here will form, but then if you trade in a daily chart, but then you have to wait. And it's the waiting time. This is where the waiting. My first mentor said, when people ask me, what's my job? I say, I'm a waiter. They say, what? And I said, yeah, I'm paid to wait. I'm like, oh, I'm actually paid to wait for this thing here. And then the next one comes up. Now, so remember I said before at the start of the session, I may do my trading throughout, and I may even do intraday trading, right? And I may have, let's just do, I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, right? I'm gonna have 20 trades. But then I go and I might have 20 trades in 1 month. Now, this is back when I first started trading. Remember I said before that I realized that there was certain things that would cause me to go backwards. And it was my thinking around the markets, but also my approach. And so let me bring up this green here. And then what I do is I say, okay, so this cluster here was actually my setup. This cluster here was my setup. This was my setup here, and this was my setup here. So I had 3, 6, 7, 8 trades out of 20 trades that actually met a really good structure plan like this. And if I just took these trades, I would have actually done well. But because my little bumblebee ass, and again, this is what happened when I first started trading 17 years ago, because my bumblebee ass was so impatient and I didn't want to wait, I would take these, and a lot of these trades, because I made money here, I'd actually start to double up and increase the risk and so on and so forth. And then it was downhill from there, right? And then I had losing trade, losing trade, losing trade, and it was just all over the place. Losing trade, losing trade, losing trade. And so that's actually why I started to realize what pattern worked for me, what pattern didn't. But also I started realizing the psychology of trading, and that is my thinking more trades equals more income is totally incorrect. Because generally speaking, more trades doesn't equal more income. Actually, more trades, if you have a good system, more trades means a lower win-loss ratio. So there are a few things, traders, that I really want you to focus on with trading moving forward. If you are going through a hard time, then just focus on a few things that I'm talking about here today. So traders, when I first started trading, I lost $250,000 trading the markets. And then I got access to a few 7-figure mentors that really set me straight on what I need to do with the foundations, how to read the charts, the trading systems, the mindset, so on and so forth. And then that was the massive turning point for me to be doing really well from actual trading and being successful trading. So what I've done is I've created a course called the Breakthrough Course. And what I've done is I've actually put a whole bunch of really good education and strategies and processes that help me go from $250,000 in debt to then actually becoming a full-time trader, making a full-time income from trading. And I'm actually running a flash sale to that trading course. So if you go to johnsflashsale.com, or there should be a link in the description. If there's not, then go to johnsflashsale.com. That's JOHNS flashsale.com. Go to johnsflashsale.com and you'll be able to get access to this course now for $7. So go get access to that right now, guys, and I'll see you real soon.